Okay, but really, who hasn't gotten, like, totally sucked into a game and gone, I could totally make this, but way better.
Right.
I know I've doodled a ton of level ideas, on napkins, backs of envelopes.
Classic.
So this deep dive, this one's for anyone who's ever even thought about going from gamer to, like, actual game developer.
Hmm.
We're going to dig into these sources, see if we can make that happen.
And it's seriously more doable than people think.
Mm.
A lot of would-be devs, they get stuck on this whole coding genius myth.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be some programming whiz to even, like,
Cheer you up quick.
No, right.
But what I'm seeing in these sources, it's like the whole landscape has changed.
For sure.
So what's different? Is it just that, like, the tech's gotten easier?
That's part of it. But the bigger thing is how we think about it. Like, these sources, they keep saying, yeah, coding's part of it, but the real foundation, it's something you already have.
Yeah.
It's understanding how games work, the mechanics. Every time you pick up a controller, you're in this system, right? It's got rules, challenges, rewards.
Then you know when it's off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As a player, you just feel it, what works, what doesn't.
Totally. Like bad checkpoint. I know it. Or an enemy that's just, the AI is cheap, not challenging.
Right. But you know that.
It's instinct at this point. So how did that turn into making games, though?
That's design right there. Say you're playing some platformer, you hit this level, brutal difficulty spike.
The worst.
As a dev, you'd use that. You've been there. You make a better curve, right?
Yeah.
Or think of a game with amazing loot. You don't just go, cool loot. You analyze it.
Mhm.
What makes it good? Then you take those principles to your projects.
So your gamer brain's already doing the work.
Exactly. Now you just got to make it conscious.
Okay, so I'm not just saying this game's awesome. I'm like, what makes it awesome? What did they do? That's kind of cool.
It's reverse engineering fun.
I like it.
And those skills, analyzing gameplay, that is dev work.
Mm.
Level design, enemy behavior, the difficulty, rewards. It's all connected.
So wait, my time as a gamer, that's actually an advantage now.
Huge one.
Okay, but how do we turn that into, skills? Do I got to go back to school, learn some crazy coding language?
Good news is, no need to quit your day job yet.
Oh, thank goodness.
All these sources, they agree you got to start
Yeah.
small.
So I'm not making the next, Elden Ring in my basement just yet.
Maybe eventually.
I
right?
know.
Ambition's good, but they're saying don't go too complex right away. Like, think of it like music. You don't start playing like
Like a rock star.
Exactly. You got to do your scales, learn the instrument.
Definitely. So what are the scales of game development then? Where do we even start as total newbies? So no diving headfirst into some crazy project right off the bat. Got it. But what are some good starter games? Like, what do they actually recommend trying to build?
They're big on 2D platformers, stuff like that. Puzzle games, too.
Makes sense.
Simpler mechanics. The graphics aren't as intense.
Right.
But you can still get super creative. The level design, the art,
Yeah.
even like how you do the story.
True. You're not getting bogged down by 3D models and all that right away.
Exactly.
But we still got to learn the tools, right? Like the coding side.
This is where the game engine comes in. And these sources, they love Unity.
Unity, okay.
It's known for being pretty intuitive, even if you're not a coding master. Think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine you're learning to paint.
Okay.
You wouldn't build your own easel from scratch, would you?
Probably not. Point taken.
You get the pre-made stuff so you can just paint, learn the basics. That's kind of like Unity.
I like that. So Unity's like our starter easel. And those simpler games, those are our practice sketches. But what about the actual learning part? Do they get into that?
Oh, yeah. They talk a lot about online tutorials.
Right. There's tons out there.
But they specifically say, try to find a structured course, especially for 2D stuff in Unity.
Yeah.
Having an actual curriculum, it makes a huge difference when you're starting.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just jumping around YouTube hoping you find the right thing.
Totally. So you've got your tools, you've got some kind of learning path.
What else? There's got to be more, right?
Oh, this is the best part.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate community.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The game dev world. Seriously supportive, especially for beginners. Like online forums, gold mines, Reddit especially. Advice, encouragement, you name it.
I love that. So it's not just here's how to fix this bug. It's actual people, they get it.
100%. And it goes beyond online, too. You ever heard of game jams?
Yeah, but I don't really know what they are. It's like people playing games really intensely.
Kinda. But you're making them, this event, right? People get together or teams, and they try to make a whole game from scratch. Usually in a really short amount of time.
Whoa, okay.
And they usually have a theme. So it's like
a pressure cooker of creativity.
right. But it's fun. You learn so much, get feedback from other devs.
Yeah.
Even if you don't win, you walk away with, like, a prototype, connections, experience.
Yeah.
The sources are big on game jams.
I bet it sounds intense, but fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Unity, we've got game jams, but before we send everyone off to make a game in 48 hours or something, what about those structured courses you mentioned? Like, are there any in particular?
There are a couple that they highlight,
Mm.
especially for the 2D stuff in Unity.
Okay, they're really pushing these courses. Did they actually name any of them?
There were two, specifically for 2D and using Unity.
Okay, good, good. Like, starting simple.
Right. Build those core skills first. So one was called, like, 2D game development for beginners, something like that.
Straightforward. I like it.
And the other one, I think it was learn Unity by building a platformer.
Oh, so you're actually making something as you go.
Exactly. And that's what the sources say is so crucial, right?
Yeah.
Like both these courses, they're big on projects.
Yeah.
Challenges built in.
So it's not just like watching videos, hoping it sinks in.
Way more engaging, right?
Totally. These sources, though, they get it. They know what it's like to be a beginner.
Right. Like they kept saying, even if you make a super simple game, even if it's just for you, that feeling
Yeah.
that you took the idea and made it real, that's huge.
So it's not about like becoming the next big indie dev necessarily, though that'd be cool.
Sure. But this is more, it's about learning something, being creative, having fun with it.
I can get behind that. So for anyone listening who's like totally pumped right now,
Yeah.
what's the one thing we want them to take away?
Don't be afraid to start small. Enjoy the learning, you know? And remember, you've got a head start already just being a gamer. You know what makes games good. Now you got to learn to make them yourself.
And there's a whole community of people out there ready to help you do it. So go unleash your inner game dev, everybody. And hey, who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive on your awesome game.